Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this place once again. I am one of your hosts, Sandy Martin. Beside me, Riddick. Next to him, I guess it's Spenny. I don't know. Looks like a hobo Jesus.
I guess.
I guess it's Spenny.
It's not like I've been
And then
here for a hot minute.
the
or
people's
anything.
champion, Ock.
Yeah, and then the Autobots champion.
What?
Optimus
Well,
Prime.
he's not the last Autobot.
We're just going to ignore that. Because we're actually not here to talk about IDW.
No.
Or Marvel or DC this week.
Nope.
Nope. We're here to talk about
A man.
I don't know if we can call him up and coming because he's up and he already came a bunch. Not dirty wise, but we're going to be discussing Daniel Warren Johnson today. Someone who I think is a phenomenal contributor to the comic industry. Writer, artist. Just a really cool style of art too, and an awesome way of storytelling. So we figured why not do an expose on one of the better writers in the industry. Someone who is definitely a boon to comics as opposed to a
Bane.
Bane. Yes.
Ooh.
Like
okay.
I was
I can
fucking
dig
trying
it.
to think of that
I
dickhead
can
who
dig
wrote
it.
Secret Empire.
Yeah.
So as opposed to a critique, it's more of a spotlight on
Yes, spotlight.
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah, there we go. Best of. So we'll start with a bit of the history of the man named Daniel Warren Johnson.
So what was the
DWJ.
first comic that he did?
So that was Space Mullet, technically, the webcomic. So
Yeah.
someone's supposed to be saying this right now. Yeah, I just never did lie. No, we're not talking about him on. So I'm just saying, we're not talking about pieces of shit. So,
It was
Nick Spencer, the guy.
it was-
Oh, yeah.
It was a comic that it's not published, but like showcased on the internet, that it was kind of an
Yeah.
ongoing thing. Since that time, Dark Horse Comic has done a in-print copy, and I believe he still contributes to it on occasion.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he had one up, I think from a month ago. Because when I was reading it, it started with the newest one. Well, either or, it seemed pretty recent. I don't know if it's finished or not, though.
No.
No.
Yeah. So I'm
Last
just checking right now.
update, looking like 2017.
Oh, never mind. Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Maybe
But
I
that-
should have checked dates.
It
But he
might-
also might have been published because of Dark Horse.
That's what I was thinking. It's because it's now being picked up by Dark Horse. They're like, if you want to publish,
Yeah,
more, it's
from
gotta
my
wait through-
understanding, the Dark Horse stuff was just printing everything you already had on the webcomic. So, but it's a pretty good read and it's free.
Mm-hmm.
And you get right up on his page. Well, I guess links to his page, but it's good stuff if you want to see where he came from. You know, a little bit rough around the edges, but again, for a first crack at something and going independent on it too, I thought it was overall pretty good from what I read. Now, I didn't read the whole series, just in the first quarter bit of the.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm guessing because I don't know how long. it is, so.
The start of it felt like the vibe it gave to me was very Firefly, like not
Yeah.
1-to-1,
Yeah.
but it had that kind of.
Yeah, well, main character, an ex-military guy who's now doing cargo runs in space with an alien friend and just trying to kind of escape their past a little bit. And, just at that point of the story was where I'm at. So, overall, pretty good. Yeah, and then after that, he did some work in the Alabaster series, which is the specific one, The Good, the Bad, and the Bird.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was 2016. For your Star Wars fans, he did that thing. Spenny, you want to fill him in on what the motivation was for Green Leader?
So
Another webcomic?
yeah, he did a short. It's only a couple pages,
Yeah.
completely no dialogue,
Yeah.
and it is inspired by a character who is very very briefly seen in Return of the Jedi. It's the A-Wing pilot who crashes into the bridge of the Super Star Destroyer, blowing it up. And Daniel Warren Johnson kind of talks about it in his post about Green Leader, how whenever he watches the movie, he always felt that was a really
Yeah,
Powerful.
He said that was one of the coolest scenes
Yeah.
in his mind. Yeah.
and you don't get to know who this dude is, so he decided to fill it in a little bit on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go. It's again another web-based comic. You
Yeah.
can probably just Google it. I'm pretty sure you can find a link to it too from Space Mullet.
Yep.
And then from there he did a couple of books with Image. He worked on Headlopper, which is a really good series. Now he isn't the main contributor to Headlopper. I think he's done some cover art. Yeah, his cover art for
Yeah,
number 13.
varying covers.
Yeah, his best book, the book where I first read about him was in Extremity. That's an Image book.
Oh, yes.
I'm a big fan of that book. So is Riddick, but he lies about it. Really good book. Really great art. Really cool story. And then he ended up doing Murder Falcon, which was a pretty decent
That's
one.
my favorite title of any of his.
Yeah, and then the most recent one he's doing for Image right now is do a Power Bomb. He did a really good Better Ray Bill series for Marvel, and he did a really good Wonder Woman series for DC. And,
Their Black Label.
Yeah, Black Label, Dead Earth, which is complete right now. So the only ones that's not complete is Do a Powerbomb. Do a Powerbomb, only #1 is out, and it's just right over there. It's a really over-the-top wrestling story, but it's good. Like, it's really good, and his art style is impeccable. So
And that's where he's writing and doing the art, but he's also
Yeah.
just strictly as writer, the Jurassic League for
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
for
about that
DC
one.
as well. So
Yeah, which is the Justice League if they were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which, don't knock it till you read it, because I actually thought it was kind of enjoyable. So,
But yeah, so there's kind of two main threads that you'll find in at least one of them in most of his stories, and that is post-apocalypse and revenge. Most
Yeah,
of his stories are either a post-apocalyptic or a revenge or both.
yeah, that's pretty close, because Murder Falcon kind of ran around that themes. Extremity is post-apocalypse, so... Yeah,
Wonder
Space
Woman.
Mullet. Space Mullet is a bit about revenge. Bit. Wonder Woman 2 is post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like Murder Falcon was very much revenge. Like for Murder Falcon, yes, it was revenge, but for
Also heavy metal.
yeah, well, I would say yeah. Like it's more like the main character, the dude who plays for Murder Falcon, in order for him to gain power.
Mhm.
Like his whole thing is that he's shy. Like he's not moving up in the world, and he's just depressed with his life.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very generic in that sense.
Yeah.
And like Murder Falcon's building him up, saying like, "You're an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
You know, you help me." And it's like, you're helping me get my revenge. So it's like, I love him. Oh, and like the one thing I gotta say about his style is, because he's doing the art for his own writing, he accentuates his writing with his art.
Yeah.
Which is-
yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Like it really
Like, it
adds to the
reinforces what he's
panel.
saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really reinforces everything.
Yeah.
Just because he does his own art,
Yeah.
which is like, you don't see that very often in comics.
Yeah. And then apparently too, he's doing live streams every Friday on YouTube's.
Yeah.
Where he just does the drawing stuff.
Damn,
Yeah.
That's we're actually looking at a picture of Berserk here. That's
that is
Guts.
sick.
Guts from
Yeah.
Berserk, fighting that demon, that weird demon that no one can really
This
explain.
guy's
'Cause
out there.
nothing makes sense
I
in
like
that story, but this picture makes sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess we're going around the panel. What do you think his biggest strengths are and his biggest weaknesses? Because we can't all be positive. This is too positive, So let's get some grounding here. So we'll start Riddick, because you probably got the best taste out of all of us. Though I didn't say it out loud.
I would say so I would say, for me, like if you go like what is it? Is it the writing or the art? I would say right. I mean the art is kind of priority for me, and I think he's a really good storyteller.
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of because it is a rough kind of art. Like it's not really
Yeah.
finished or pretty or like really clean. It's a dirty art which suits the subject matter. But like the storytelling, it's not like a lot of similar like talking heads or headshots or something. Like he's changing angles, he's changing close-ups, long shots, like kind of thing. And actually, I don't really remember a whole lot of like splash pages. He's like telling a story,
Yeah.
and it's going through. So very much like it's almost storyboarded out, like the story is going on. So for me, the priority, well, that I think he's a better artist than a writer, and some of the writing like is very unique. Like Murder Falcon is really unique. It's a premise that you don't come across. Like basically it's people that play heavy metal music, and as a result, they almost get like not an avatar, so to speak, but they get like a Pokemon monster to like fight as long as they're playing well on a special instrument or whatever. But like some of the Extremity, and that's why Ock kind of took a shot. Extremity didn't really grab me as much as the other ones, and if anything, it was the Marvel and DC stuff that kind of grabbed me. But I think that could be too. That for me, there's a little bit of background, right? Like it's like Better Ray Bill. I don't know the issue that Better Ray Bill lost his hammer, not Mjolnir, whatever that. What's his Shatterstar, whatever.
No, Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker. He lost Stormbreaker. I don't know how he lost Stormbreaker, but I know enough about the Marvel Universe and Thor and Beta Ray Bill and the others that I didn't need that backstory.
Yeah, like I'm almost positive he gave it to Thor because he needed another hammer.
Yeah.
Well, I thought,
But again, I'm not all the way positive.
I think it got
Almost
broken though.
positive.
I thought like in the flashbacks it had like Thor breaking Stormbreaker with
Oh,
Mjolnir or something.
Mine, Thor's pretty careless actually. Now that I think about it, with those hammers.
And again, like the Wonder Woman, right? Like the Wonder Woman, it's like an apocalyptic world, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody else is dead, but like there's a I'm a curiosity. Well, what happened to Batman? What happened to Superman? What
Yeah.
happened to these things that
Yeah.
come to, right? So that was that. Whereas the other ones, they're like jumping extremity, like it's a limited series, like there's a beginning and there's an end, and it's finite, right?
Definitely. Very
Yeah.
And the Murder Falcon, there's a beginning and an end, and it's all finite and contained. And so they do a power bomb, 7 issues. There's only one. The next one comes out next week, I think, number 2. So that again, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But there is an element of, in all the story, they're not straightforward stories. There's like something that's a little bit off. Like the world's a little bit off.
Yeah.
The character's a little bit off. So it is. He's very creative.
Yeah.
So what would you saying? His downside is his.
I'm like, well, some of like Extremity. Okay, here we go. Extremity Zoc's favorite, but Extremity, I just found like they're like warring clans. You killed my wife. I'm gonna kill all your family. That breaking it down to the basis.
Yeah, see, that's why I still think that, you might be borderline incompetent here because that's not the main character. He's not the main character. It's about the daughter and the son who are dragged
in like
into
3
that war
minutes,
with
you went
him.
from the most
Yeah.
refined taste.
Yeah,
to
the most
borderline
refined taste of
incompetent.
borderline incompetent.
and even a little bit like I was trying to
You gotta
think.
big up your cast, but then when they got out of the way, you gotta smack them back into it.
And Murder Falcon, why it was completely unique, right? There's no other comic like it. I did find a little bit of like some, not similarities, but like in tone to what's the name? What's the dude who had to fight all the boyfriends of the girl?
Scott
Oh,
Pilgrim.
Scott.
Oh,
Scott
Scott
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. Yeah.
Because there's kind of like an element of they're living in our world,
Yeah.
Yes.
but there's like these super powered things that happen, right? And the same like Murder Falcon's living in our world, but there's these monsters and a Falcon warrior that are kind of coming in and like and it's like everybody that it doesn't seem like there's a well, that's weird. Like it's just like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sandy, you want to go quick with what you think his strength is and weakness, but do it in about 8 times faster than Riddick?
Sorry about that.
If I had to break it down, I would probably say like the negative would have to be just maybe finish up his art, like kind of like to follow up on what Riddick said. It does feel like his art is somewhat unfinished. It has that somewhat unfinished feel.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a style.
It is.
Yeah, I
it
think
is.
that's
It
what it
literally
is,
is a style nowadays. Like I've noticed it pop up all
Not even
with
necessarily
a number of artists.
nowadays, though, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, that's true. But like other than that, like that, but that's just a nitpick, really. Like I can't really find any sort of thing that I don't like about his writing or his art. Like
yeah.
he blends both so well together. Like not to bag lick him or anything, but like I
Oh.
really like his stuff.
Yep. If there's a bag to lick, I'd lick his bag.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So, okay, so what's he do really good, though? What do you think is his strongest suit?
Just how he merges the writing and the art together to make that perfect storyboard. Like
Yeah,
just
okay.
to, like Riddick said, like it's literally a storyboard as if you're like watching a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the two are so intertwined together that it's like you couldn't see anyone else doing the art for his writing.
Yeah, okay.
Like-
yeah, that makes sense. So, all right. Spenny?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that out of the two, it's not that his writing is bad, it's just that his art is really good. One of the things that sticks out to me about his particular style, actually, is the way that he draws hair on a lot of characters.
Yeah. With that really messy style.
Well, it's the messy, but it's the curls, it's
Yeah.
the layers, the like volume.
Yeah.
Like almost all of his characters have like very poofy hair.
Yeah, he don't draw no basic ass bitches.
It was a really like his take on Wonder Woman was pretty unique.
dope,
Like
yeah.
it still like harkened back to a lot of the staple, like visual identifiers of the character while doing his own thing, and you can really tell that that's his take on the character.
Yeah.
And then Some of his early writing is a little rougher. Like, he's definitely gotten better over time. Like, I think in Space Mullet, some of the dialogue's a little clunky, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as I said, over time, like Wonder Woman, I thought was pretty clean.
Yeah.
The one issue that I've read of Do a Powerbomb seemed solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in love with Dual Powerbomb. Holy smokes, I love that book, and it's only one in, so. Yeah, okay, cool. For me, I think, again, I'm kind of with Riddick. I think his strongest point, and everybody else on the panel, is literally his ability to draw, and his creativity, and his storytelling. Like, I personally think his books nowadays, like, they're good. I don't have an issue with how he writes them. I have an issue with how... Like, I don't know. I feel like with some writers out there, they're just kind of like, sweatshop machines with just like pumping out books.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he was more like that, but again, that'd probably oversaturate the stuff and take
And
your
you'd see a
time and
drip
write
in
it.
quality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather enjoy his material that he has now, and because like good things come to he who waits.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then the biggest negative I can think of is,
Skeletor.
he's not a friend of mine or the shop personally. So
Yeah.
if he fixes that, there's no negatives.
If you like, as a
That's true.
as a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Like so there's an artist around 20 years ago, but now he's doing video game design. But his name is Frank Turan.
Yeah, okay.
And if you
Yeah.
like this style, Frank Turan did a 2-issue, one of probably the best 2-issue fill-ins for Punisher that didn't involve Mike Zeck. He did Kazar the Savage. He did a Batman. He did like some one shots. He did a Hellblazer one shot, but it's a similar. He did a What If Sabretooth killed the X-Men. But
yes.
it's very much the same.
That's a huge what.
Yeah.
The very much it's like the page is painted in with ink,
Yeah.
basically. Like there's a lot of splatter, there's a lot of wide brush, fine ink kind of thing. But some people would say at that time that it was sloppy, but it was everything he did was intentional, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just say some people again. With their preferences with Mike Mignola, right? Like looking at his Hellboy stuff compared to like his Rocket Raccoon stuff and Hulk stuff, and they say he got lazy, but no, it's intentional.
style,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what he's choosing to do. So,
Yeah.
if you do like that style, looking for more of it, again, Frank Turan, Teran.
And that, like, I think that's where his streams really come in, because if you don't want to take Riddick's word for it, you can go to his YouTube channel. You just look up Daniel Warren Johnson. He's on there. And you can see him in real-time drawing. It's not like the dude's cutting corners. Like,
No.
everything is purposeful.
Yeah.
It's just a little different than, your
Well,
standard
standard.
Marvel.
Yeah, that's actually, one more point about this guy's art. Like, so right now, like anyone who reads any bit of comic book, you'll see there's a huge, weird, like crossover between, like, American comic art and Japanese
Yeah, manga style.
mangas, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's played out. Like, I think it's really played out, and it's just kind of too cookie cutter sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get him, like, I don't know who, like, I swear to God, it feels like he's inspired just by comic books, like, in his passion to draw comic books. Because I couldn't tell you who he borrowed off of, or, like, how sometimes you see an artist, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
you see,
this
like,
guy clearly loves
influences.
this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Daniel Warren Johnson, like, well, who's he like? Like, he must have just been a fan of comic books. Like, I feel like when you read his books, he's just, you can pick up on that passion the guy has for writing comic books and having wild stories. Like, Do a Powerbomb. I'm telling you that scene where they're in the hospital, like that bottom panel framing, like, it probably could have been a full page if he wanted to, but it just worked so good with just being like that quarter panel.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just hit me. It was like a really, really good frame. Like, it's like, yeah, the guy looks like he's incomplete with the art, but if you look at the panel, it's like it's everything you need.
But
to
he
be there is
does
there.
what needs to be in there to like really accentuate the writing.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. So, anyone else got anything else to say about the guy?
No.
I think we covered all the bases.
All right, we're gonna keep this one short and sweet this week, and go out there and like if you're a fan of comic books, go out there and read it. If you're one of them dickheads who can't get off of the DC train or the Marvel train, he has a good book, a really good book for both teams. Right? You can get the one run for DC or the Better A Bill for Marvel, and the Better A Bill is a really good fucking book. So, and same with the Wonder Woman.
So if someone could only read, because we usually not that we're
okay.
ranking it, but if someone could only read one of his comics, what would you recommend?
Yeah, I'll start this one.
Yep.
Extremity. Hands down fucking Extremity. Or hand down Extremity. And it's not about the chief, okay? It's not about the guy who got pissed off and wants revenge. It's about his two kids. Mainly speaking, the one with the missing hand. But Extremity.
Spenny?
Extremity. Okay, good one, Spenny. I
No.
agree.
I would say out of the stuff that, because I haven't read all of his stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I would say probably from what I've read, the Wonder Woman was a good time. Or I mean, for the fact that it's free and you can read it in like 2 minutes, check out Green Leader.
I was gonna say you can't use Green Leader,
What about you, Sandy?
but you can.
Oh,
It's
Murder
a book you
Falcon,
wrote.
100%. I love Battle Bard. He's a battle bard. Come on, man.
And me, it's Better Ray Bill. So there's 4,
Yeah.
and each of us had a favorite of the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. If we all agreed on the same one, then you'd wonder about the quality of the other stuff. But there's 4 opinions
yeah.
and 4 different guys.
He's got wide appeal, I think.
Oh,
is
Yeah.
huge wide appeal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Do a Powerbomb is just at the 1, so we can't really say it. But Do a Powerbomb is fucking really good. So
Yeah, I can't wait until that one, like...
gets
Because
sorted.
is it a limited series?
Yeah,
Seven-
it's
seven.
7.
Okay, so it is. Okay.
Yeah, so all right, cool. Hopefully we'll be back quicker than the last time we were back, which is we're not fucking.
Wasn't it last month?
No, it was longer than that. So
Really?
I think it was like 2 months for my last video.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
So, but to those who are watching, fucking thanks for your support. To those who ain't watching, this message is irrelevant, isn't it?
You got him.
Way to hit him with the science.
All right,
right,
cool.
take it
Football
easy,
season coming
guys.
Soon, by the way.